Good afternoon, everybody. Wait a minute. Good afternoon. Come on. We're all trying to get to this next level without, as my brethren says, without the next level finding us. You know, it's like life is peaks and valleys. And some people think some people explain that as good times, bad times, but I actually think it's learning or let's say learning mastership, okay, or study mastership. Now, I went from the top of one mountain. I mastered something. I'd mastered something and people appreciated it. But, you know, once you're on the top of that mountain, you have to go this way. But in hip-hop, everybody's like, I'm not moving. I'm the master. I'm great. I'm dope. I'm hot. I'm here. I've arrived. I'm not going anywhere. And that's what you stay stuck on top of one hill, one mountain, when, you know, God's intention is that we study and master a bunch of different things. And so here I am descending this hill, and everybody's like, where you going? You know, we're supposed to be on the top of the hill. But it's exciting time. It's definitely exciting time for me because I'm at the foot of another hill. You know, this hill, you know, is different. You know, it's totally different. You have to navigate it different. But I get to learn. And then once you learn and you go through that, you are on the top of another one. So I would just encourage everybody, never be afraid of not knowing. Never be afraid of not knowing. You know, find out. Because that's how you get, you know, to mastership. I'm telling you guys, please believe me, 5 years ago I was this. I was like, you know, what kind of resistance did y'all meet in the industry with popular culture when the time was perhaps per se? I was so that. Oh, God. And now, let me tell you, where I am now, I accept and I understand that I don't know anything. First of all, you know, so whenever you stand for something and you stand for goodness and truth, you will always get resistance. That's period. Whether you're in the pharmaceutical industry, the record industry, or whatever. Whenever you stand for truth and for the service, you know, the service of others, in order to promote something higher, I mean, I feel now, at the ripe old age of 25, that the only thing that I could do is serve others. You understand what I'm saying? And because there are people who have not reached that point in their walk, you know, yes, there's a little anger, there's a little resentment, because you raise a standard. You know, you especially when you do it and you make some noise, you know, and you do it and people actually listen to what you have to say, and you're saying something that holds a mirror up to a lot of the negativity and self-indulgent things and messages that a lot of other people, you know, but we're all young, having no clue or concept, having no concept of what life really is, you know. So I've been put in this unique position. I have this very unique responsibility that God has made me aware while I still have the mic. And, you know, we have to be determined, and you have to know that for me now, I'm learning that it's more important to be righteous than to be right. I've tried to be right. You know, this is right. This is an injustice. This is a travesty. I'm right. But I've been very unrighteous and still right. Oh, my God, you know, because you can attack someone completely right, but it doesn't resolve anything. You know, it doesn't solve your problem. So I understand now that the battlefield and that the war is so much greater than what we see before us. You know, I live in this physical body. This is like my address, like 22 Eder Terrace. I just gave everybody my address, but that's my address. Fight me, no. But this is where I live, you know, but there's something much deeper. Who I am, you know, has nothing to do with, you know, the hair and the shoes and stuff, even though I like shoes. But, you know, it has nothing to do with that. So you know, and what I do, I mean, I find there's a lot of power in prayer. So I pray for the people who don't understand me. And I tell you, to be honest with you, I pray more now to be understood. No, excuse me, to understand than to be understood. I pray now to learn how to love than to be loved. Because God has given me an abundance, so, you know, I don't need God. These people don't understand me. They think I'm crazy. Every time I'm on the mic, they just, you know, it's not about that. I pray that I understand them so that I can talk to them, minister to them even more. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just not afraid it's of no effect. It's immaterial to me. Because our enemies are not physical bodies. They're actually our family. They don't know it, and we don't always know it. But our enemies are not, they're not flesh and blood. And our problems are not flesh and blood, even though we think they are. I hope that, I know that was very, I don't mean to sound ethereal, because what I'm saying, I'm telling you, is heavy as bricks. It's concrete. It's very concrete. Sometimes it can sound like doo-doo-doo, but it's not that. It's like, who saw the movie The Matrix? Okay. Good. Then we can start from a point of reference. Matrix was a banging movie to me. And the reason why I appreciated it so much was because, do you remember at the end when Neo realized his potential? He started to see the binary code. You remember that? The whole world? Well, that's where I'm trying to be spiritually. I'm trying to see the word of God in the whole world. So every time that agent throws a punch, I'm like, I see you. Oh, okay. I'm just catching his punches. So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I'm starting to see that. Things are just, situations materialize themselves and, oh, he's an agent. But here's the trick. Here's the trick. Here's the trick, is that you have to remember that sometimes you can be an agent. You can be an agent to yourself. You can be an agent against someone else and not even realize that you're being used, That's the Matrix. Let me tell you another thing about the Matrix. Going back to the Matrix, is that I was always confused about it. I always thought that, the Matrix was battling the enemy out there, picking them out. I'm going to find those enemies. I'm going to get that enemy. Until I realized that until you conquer the enemy in yourself, you can't deal with anyone. A friend of mine put it this way. My mother used to make me sandwiches, and not physical sandwiches, but spiritual sandwiches, okay? She would give me bread, and the bread was encouragement and love. And then the meat was the correction, okay? And then there was another piece of bread, which was the encouragement and the love. So that worked. You see, that worked. Love is an incredible thing, and we don't know love like we should. We always talk about, I have unconditional love. Unconditional love is, we don't even know it, because if a person stops stimulating us, we stop loving them. You're not interesting to talk to anymore. Goodbye. But that real love that sometimes is difficult to have, that's that love. Let's not be mediocre in our greatness. You know what I mean? Think big. Think big. And think in doses, think in experiences, and don't be afraid of experiences that teach you, okay? Thank you, everyone.